Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 37 of Connects You, and we are going to discuss how to finish strong. So, step one would be to commit, don't quit. You have to make sure that you are all in on this. You can't just do a little bit at a time. Some of you are very, very far behind at this point, but you have to believe that you can do it. It is still possible, but you're going to have to commit, use help, and seek everything out. Step two, create a plan of action. Your one example would be to divide your time evenly. So we've been recommending all year to spend at least 45 minutes per day in each course. Those of you who are behind probably did not follow that and wish you did. You should be following a strict schedule at this point. So plan out your day when you're going to work, but make sure that, again, at a minimum, should be 45 minutes a day at this point. Another option would just be to go all in on one course. Some of you are really far behind. I'm talking like only 30% complete in a class, and you need to get those to 100%. So rather than working just a little bit each day in each course, if you do that, you're likely not going to finish any of them. So pick one that you think is going to be easiest for you, because it's at least going to be better to get some credits than to get no credits this year. So once you go all in, say you go all in on English, you finish it in the next week or so. And then once you do that, move on to algebra or whatever your next class. But definitely, it might be a good option for some of you to start putting all of your eggs in one basket and pick one course to work on at a time. Another option, do the math. Count how many assignments you have left to complete. Divide that number by how many days of school there are left. And don't stop working until you reach that goal each day. If you choose this plan, you have to get to that number every day. There's no option. And if you don't get to that number, you also have to remember that because we're to this point in the year, you're probably going to have to start working weekends. So right now we're only counting Monday through Friday, but some of you, it's going to be really, really important that you work some of the weekends too. Step three, raise your grades. So progress is good, but if you finish the course and your grade is below the passing grade, then you're going to have to go back and do a lot of things. So for OdysseyWare students, make sure that any assignment with a grade below 70%, you can go back and complete that again for a better grade. It's also important to remember that OdysseyWare projects are worth 40% of the grade. So if you start to submit those blank, it's very unlikely that you're passing if you've submitted a lot of blank projects. So those will be the easiest way to raise your grade, is to go back in, ask for help of exactly what you're supposed to do with those projects, and then get your grade above the necessary passing grade. If you're in the SLP, take the time to go back and turn your yellow and red projects green. That's going to be the easiest way for you to raise your grade. And then also try the additional focus areas. Those are extra credits. So if you're somebody that is sitting at like an A right now, which we don't have too many, but we do have some, but do the additional focus areas and get the A+. And then don't forget to complete your launches in Google Classroom. Some of the Open Campus kids that are listening right now, if you're not even sure what a launch is, just forget about it. This doesn't apply to you. But for those CPDLF learners, you know that you are supposed to be doing your launches in every course, every week, typically on Mondays. Go back in and take the time to go back and do, there should be about, 37 now. So make sure those are all done, because it can make or break your grade. If you have like a 67 and do all your launches, it will bring you up to a 70. But however, it works the other way too. If you have like a 72 or a 73 and haven't done launches all year, it'll do just enough to pull your grade below a passing grade. Step 4, make sure you're asking for help. Contact your learning guide, set up a Zoom session with an instructor, come to learning labs. We have those on Mondays and Thursdays from 1 to 3 at CPDLF. Make sure you do check the Google Classrooms for the updated schedule, because we had to rearrange some things with Keystones. Use the CPDLF help desk. These are actual CPDLF teachers that work this every single week. They're available from Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8, and on Fridays from 5 to 7. All you have to do is go to cpdlf.org, and in the bottom right there will be an ask for help button. Also, email your instructor with questions. Don't just submit blank things. Just don't submit it yet. Ask them for help. Step 5 is to be positive. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right, okay? So if you're somebody sitting there right now already writing yourself off, you might as well not try, okay? But you need to change that mindset and just start telling yourself that you can, and there is enough time. It's important to know the end date is May 25th, 2018. That is the last day that work will be accepted in either platform. There will be no extensions. So for those of you last year that might have received an extension and got to work through July, that is not the case this year. As of today, there are 13 days of school left. That's only counting weekdays. Again, there are the weekends, but if that number, I know it's getting lower and lower, but think of it in a different way. That means that there's 18,720 minutes left. So that's a lot of time that you could be putting towards your schoolwork. All right, your reflection question for this week is, how will you go about cyber school differently next year?